like that music so much. It's so fun. All right. Well, let's go ahead and recap a little bit from last time. Welcome back to Mateia, everybody. So last time in our adventure, we found our party who were in a forest where they landed post airship explosion by skylight and dragon attack. They found their way into a maze hidden within this forest. They explored for a while. You found and fought a few myrmidons that your sidekicks located through very hilarious adventures. You also, after beating them, all the myrmidons found some elemental stones that you ended up using to open a portal found in the middle of this maze. While watching the portal build itself and become active, you saw a quick visage of a miniature war in this forested area, showing a luscious green forest turning into that of a more darker black necrotic forest, and then immediately after, looks like it's somewhere else in the world, but um, in the same portal, you saw the birth of mechanical magic in this world. Things from the ability for magical machines to fly, and things that are equivalent to magical robots or androids and servants, things like that. You found some items in this maze, and then once the portal itself was completed and finished building itself into a active doorway, you all walked through into a train station. And as you looked around, you found on the wall a map showing that the only destination of this train line was a place labeled as home. You heard wails and ghostly screams coming from this train. As you kind of looked around and stepped towards it, you heard a conductor yell a couple of times, "All aboard." And this is where we find ourselves today. It's this railway stop. You guys had decided that you were going to board the train, which is, there would be a picture of a train right here, but the map doesn't show it. But there is a train that you can board. What's your plan?
Train, gotta get that train.
As we're making our way up the train, I would like to use my divine sense.
Okay, go for it.
Whoop.
Celestial, fiend, or undead. So in this area, in this train stop, you do not sense any celestials, fiends, or undead.
All right, well, let us make haste.
As you guys make your way to the train to board said train, let me put you on the map where you all find yourself. As you approach to where the conductor says "all aboard" and you see a door wide open, you step onto a train. And you guys find yourselves in the back of the furthermost, or the rearmost, should I say, train car.
Ooh.
And you can see ahead of you, there are other people on this train. You can see right down that hallway there. There are a few people sitting on either side in these velveteen, reddish, purplish looking seating arrangements. Some people are doing things like knitting and reading. The two that you can see in the purple seem to just be a couple of friends just talking and having a good time. Everyone just sitting, waiting on the completion of boarding of this train so that the train can go forward and go to wherever it's intending to go. And I will say, this is the door that you guys walked in, and at the opposing end of them, it might not show it necessarily on the map, but there is a door at the end of each train car. So, just know that is there.
This
Both in it.
map is big.
Hmm. You're on a
Like-
train. What do you guys do?
Are we at the back of the train then?
Yes, you guys got on the rearmost car at the back, and as you all come in and you look around, you hear the train whistle go one more time, and it starts to slowly lurch forward a little bit as it is starting to move, departing the station.
So, I would like to go towards the front of the train. So I'm gonna start moving forward. Like, all right, let's go and see more of this train. This is really cool. Just kind of like, excuse me, pardon me.
Everyone kind of looks up
I'll
at
be
you as
following.
you just start walking through this train. Okay, so I will take, since you're at that cart, I will take you over to the next cart, Anthea and Gleba. So you see what you see in this cart, Anthea. You see that there is this bar restaurant style cart with 2 trees, one on either end, some good lighting. A good 3/4 of this cart is a bar with some workers there and some people sitting around kind of enjoying a drink and a meal. Are the 3 of you following into the next cart? Or are you hanging out in this one? What are you guys
I
doing?
have a question.
Uh-huh.
Does any of this feel familiar? And what I mean by that is, with my knowledge of things, does this feel connected to the Fae at all? Like, am I getting just that feeling of connection?
Roll an insight check with advantage because you have a Fey connection.
Okay. 12.
Haha.
It doesn't feel like the Fae. It feels like something, but it doesn't feel like the Fae. But you can't pinpoint what it feels like. It just doesn't feel like
It
that.
doesn't feel natural.
It doesn't. So to you, the Fae feels naturally unnatural. This
Yeah.
doesn't feel like what others would say is natural, and then to you, what is both natural and unnatural. It feels different from both of those.
Okay. Very interesting. As I take this in with a flick of my wrist, Hale appears on my shoulder.
Hail appears on your shoulder.
As he does. Would you like me to drag his token?
You can, yeah, if it'll let you.
I believe he is a small boy. That is a big boy. And if you wouldn't mind putting him on the front so I can have him.
You want him smaller than that, or do you want him behind you?
I would, yeah, behind him is what I meant, or behind, so I can actually have him like above my token.
You should be able to. Oh, so you want you behind him?
Yeah,
how
yeah,
it was,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like that.
It's not changed for me. Do I have to do it? No, you have to do it.
I changed it, so you were behind, so now I can just sit on your head like that.
I can see you behind him.
Yeah, you're behind him.
I don't.
You were behind him.
This is weird. Okay.
Okay. You see that every step you take and every move that you make, Naomi's watching you.
Damn it! You said it before I
Very
could.
good. She's the police, after all.
You said
It
it
is,
before I
in
could.
fact, the police. I didn't even make that connection because I forgot they were the artists, so applause to the bard.
Inspiration? Eh?
You get I was about to say you get inspiration. You
Yeah.
just beat me to the punch.
Reference.
Right. So you're back here doing what you do, Felista, with Naomi and Hale. Pax, you said you were following Anthea.
Yes, and I was actually going to say that I might start plucking or playing, verbing with some small instrument for a ditty, and I think we know what I'm playing now, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Go ahead and make a
Um,
performance check as you follow
Okay. Choosing a hopefully minimally destructive tune. Is this going to work? Maybe. Yeah. Oh, wow.
It worked very well with your 32, natural 20. You see Velissa stepping back and forth and Naomi just like as a hawk, just watching and stepping in time, almost like they have their own little two-step and waltz. It's like this very precarious game that they're playing, where they're staying just on the edge of arm's reach, as you do with the traditional waltz, and they're just kind of in this weird synchronous step with each other, and you're just kind of picking along as you're watching and yet walking towards Anthea. So you can put yourself wherever you want to be in this train cart. Anthea, flip up to you. You walk into this this bar restaurant cart, and you see. I'll move you through to the cart too, Pax. So you should be able to see stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Anthea,
Hey, stuff.
it is you. What do you wish to do?
Anthea's pretty excited. I don't know if she's been to a ton of things like this. I don't know. She's probably never been on a train this cool. So she's going to head on over. And is there a menu or anything she can look at?
Yeah, there absolutely is. So basically, at these two seats that are right here, there are menus sitting in front of each stool. So if you want to sit down and order something, you are more than welcome to do so.
I plop myself into the seat and plop Gleba down on the seat beside me, and then motion to Pax if he would like to sit in this other chair.
I absolutely will. Yeah.
Perfect.
As you
right time for snacks.
And hand him the other.
We'll do. I'll get you on that spot. Don't worry.
Okay.
Ready? There you go. As you sit down and there you turn, you hear Pax behind you just playing a very good ditty. And you see this person beside you here you can tell they're a little on the drunk side. They're tapping their foot along, just kind of nodding their head to themselves. And this barmaid here, she walks up to you, says, "Good day, loves. Is there something I can get you all?"
What's the special?
Well, the special that we have today is, what do we have? And she looks over to the male and goes, "Oi, John, what's the special today?" And he looks down and he grumbles, and he kind of looks under the counter for a second and looks back up, and he just kind of raises his arms like, eh. And he goes, "I don't know, we got some old chicken in the back. I guess they could have some of that. I mean, this is more of a bar than a restaurant, but we got peanuts and chicken." She goes, "Well, we got peanuts and chicken."
Some of that questionable old chicken. Probably against my better judgment.
Ash will raise his eyebrows at you and be like, "I'll have some nuts."
Okay. So, you see Lydia reaches underneath the counter and pulls out this small crate, and out of it she pulls a bag and drops it in front of you, Pax, and you hear the sound of what you imagine is a bag of nuts just hitting the counter, and as it hits, it kind of spills open a little bit, and there are some mighty fine looking non-shelled peanuts in this bag. And then she says to all of you, "Oh, you want a drink too, or you just want the nuts and the chicken?"
An ale, please, or whatever
I'll
you
also have
recommend.
an ale.
Okay.
What goes well with peanuts?
And she holds her finger and goes, "Oh, I'll get you taken care of right here." And she turns and she grabs a glass off the wall and pulls it under a tap, and you see that as she pulls it down, this like almost preternaturally thick liquid goops into the bottom of this glass that she pulled for you and starts to fill it up in this very soft serve ice cream kind of spiral. And as she pushes the lever back, she puts it in front of you, and it looks like it should have been super thick, but as you look at it, it's very translucent and almost like this caramel color. And she pulls a few of the peanuts out of the bag and drops them into the ale, and just points and goes, "I think you're gonna love that." And she looks at you and Thea and says, "What are you gonna be having to drink? Your frog, toad, friend?"
Oh, he'll just have. Do you have like swamp water?
Kind of looks and she goes, I mean, we don't have swamp water, but we got. But as you look at it, it's very
Train
translucent and almost like this caramel.
I don't imagine that'd be good for his skin. Let's see. Could you just maybe put some leftover greens in a bucket of water?
I can do that. She goes
Great,
over to
thanks.
the trash can and kind of pulls out some leftover greens and puts them in a small bowl of water and then like slides that to Gleba.
Perfect. Gleba's very enthusiastically just plops himself right into it.
The patron beside you looks unsettled, but does not move away because he's also very intrigued.
That's how they drink.
He goes, that's like a bath, but okay.
Well, isn't it wonderful that it's 2 in 1?
He pulls out a notebook and starts writing in the notebook, like, and you can see like this inquisitive look on his face, like, imagining he might try this later in life. Whether or not it will be successful, we'll find out maybe. Anything in particular you would like to order to drink alongside your questionable chicken?
I think, yeah, she's watched this really intriguing ale, question mark?
Mm-hmm.
So she'll just say, I'll have what he's having. That looks cool.
He grabs another glass, and this one she kind of throws up in the air, and as it's spinning through the air, she catches it on the tip of her right pinky and is balancing it under it as she pulls the lever again. And you see, this time instead of it being like this dark black thick looking drink, it's almost this green swampy looking beverage with the same consistency and same thickness with a little bit of foam on the top. And as she closes the lever, she pulls it over to you, and it has this that reminds you of home, but it doesn't taste or feel like swamp water. It just tastes delicious and comforting. While you guys are in there ordering your nuts, questionable chicken, and drinks, Valista, you and Naomi are in the back of this cart. What are you doing?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is the map accurate? Are there doors in between each like little?
No,
living-
these aren't supposed to be doors. These are basically like the iron rod beams that go underneath the train to kind of like hold the segments together. And not every one of these carts has these. Just some of these maps do, but yeah, these are not doors.
Okay.
I'll let you know if they're doors.
Okay, so before entering this little area, Valista has Hale perched on her shoulder, and he's going to turn into his inanimate icicle form. So there's just like an icicle like stuck on her shoulder, and he's essentially commanding her or him to eyes on Naomi all the time.
Okay.
And before heading off into the next cart, Valista takes the time to pull her hood over her head and her cloak over her right arm, and then begins walking through.
Okay. So as you begin walking through, Naomi would stay step in step with you, basically behind. So what I will do is I will just put the 3 of you in the next cart. So you guys basically end up here. You're probably not going to want to be right there, but you walk in and you see Pax and Anthea enjoying a bag of nuts, some beverages, and at this point, Anthea didn't take as long as you would expect. This chicken arrives on a plate in front of you. It's warm. It looks crispy. It looks good.
I'll like dangle a piece in front of Gleba and offer it to him.
Gleba looks up at it for a second, and you see that Gleba shunts their tongue out on this piece of chicken and just like brings it back in, and then you hear the burp.
Awesome.
Chicken is okay.
Gleba now has 6 temporary hit points.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. I need to find Gleba's character sheet now. I'll just write it down. Yeah, and then seeing that Gleba's enjoying it, I'll also attempt a piece of chicken.
Yeah, Gleba only normally has 1 hit point, so
Oh,
Gleba
perfect.
now has 7.
Well, Gleba, that's some good chicken.
So Gleba, oh yeah, I gotta pop this up here so the screen goes with us. So yeah, Gleba looks a little a little chunky and happy and almost bloated.
Aw.
But like in a good kind of bloated, like you've eaten and you're satiated and comfortably full. And Thea, go ahead and roll a d6 for your chicken, but first roll a Constitution saving throw to see how well this
Yeah, I
chicken
knew that was
sits.
coming.
I'm not gonna poison your frog.
That's fair.
You take a bite and it doesn't taste as good as Gleba made it look. You don't get poisoned, but unfortunately you don't benefit from temporary hit points. You're just not poisoned.
I just sort of like push the plate over towards Khalifa.
Gleba brings it into the very wet old leaf bowl and just goes to town and is just chomping on this questionable chicken.
Awesome.
There you go. Pax, what are you doing if you see this happen?
Kind of raising my eyebrows slightly and kind of offering. I had a bag ready to offer in case Anthea ate it, but then I'll retract it since she seems to be actually okay. And I'll munch up my nuts and kind of survey the room. I want to get a sense of like who else here, like not that I expect there to be any kind of threat, but like what's the vibe around here? Is this like a commuter train? Is this just like a bunch of vacationers? What kind of people are these?
So from what you've seen so far in the first cart, the first 4 people that you saw just seem to be commuters in some way. The 2 girls in purple seem to be a little wealthier than the other 2, not by much, but they were wearing effectively like their Sunday best in dresses. And the other 2 just looked like they were laborers of some sort. They were wearing just like hardworking, blue-collar, thicker, like very resilient cotton-based clothing. They look like they were maybe using this as transport to get somewhere. They didn't really. You didn't necessarily talk to them, so you don't really know where they're going. But they didn't seem like they were very interested in other passengers. They were just kind of keeping to themselves. And as you came into here, you see that the pricing on the menu for this is not anything more than what a standard small town tavern would be. So you imagine that the 2 people who work here in this bar, it's probably their line of business, and they just kind of work this train as a way just to keep going. And they might live on the train, you don't know, but the people that you've seen so far just look like workers or travelers, a little bit of both so far.
Okay, some normal folk. Cool.
Yeah. Naomi, what would you like to do?
Feeling as this is just things feel a little off, I'm gonna flash another divine sense.
Okay. What is the range on divine sense? It's what, 60 feet?
60 feet.
Okay. You're not gonna see everywhere this goes because it can go through doors.
Boom.
Let me check something.
Oh no. He's gonna check something.
It's also anything that's not behind total cover.
You nothing feels off to you.
Hmm.
Everything feels the same.
Everything's within total cover.
I'm a
train.
pop one in each car.
You are in a train. I will tell you, you will run out of them before you get to the front of the train. There are quite a few cars to this train.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys see this menu, and all that's really on the menu is some drinks. And then you've seen that Anthea gave Galiba her chicken, and Pax has a bag of nuts and their drinks too. And you're in between two folks who are sitting at this bar, and then a male behind just kind of looking at you two, waiting to see if you want to order anything.
I am doing 100% full on, like making sure that I'm constantly looking down the entire time and that my cloak is covering my arm, so I just have my left hand and arm kind of resting on the bar. And without even looking up, I just say, I'll have a water.
And it looks at you, says, okay, and you? next to you, Naomi.
Nothing for me, kind sir. I am still on duty. And I just shoot Ballista a really dirty look.
He nods and says, very well. And he meanders his way down this way. Doo-doo, 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 to a very nice crystalline bottle of water that is on the shelf right here. And he gets it and he pours it into a glass and turns around and walks back here. And then turns and looks at you and slides a glass of water towards you, Ballista, and says to you in like a lower tone, there's no need to hide your face here. No one will judge you on this train. This train is a safe place. And he just goes back to, he turns around and just goes back to cleaning some glasses in this little sink that he's got behind the bar.
I kind of slightly raise my head at this, and I want to take a quick look around. Besides Naomi, is anyone paying attention to me?
Make a perception check.
Okay. That's a 2.
I mean, just trying to not make eyes with people. Everyone seems to kind of just be minding their own business, just doing their thing. I mean, you can see that Anthea and Pax and Glebe are having a good old time down at the other end of the bar and doing their thing, and then it's funny that you've put so much space between the other half of your party with the people who are here. But yeah, the other people are just kind of minding their own business, enjoying their drinks. They don't look necessarily happy or sad or like they're not crying tears into their beer or anything. They're just kind of just waiting, just riding and waiting.
Well, if I don't perceive anyone paying attention to me outside the obvious, I kind of take the glass and I bring it towards my right hand, and doing my best to not reveal it, I kind of use one of my fingers to tap the glass and have the water inside the glass just kind of frost over.
Ooh, frosty. Alright, so yeah, you tap the glass and you chill it down to a very chilled temperature.
And then I begin very, like every few random seconds, just take sips of it.
Okay. How much time do you guys want to spend in the bar cart?
I guess enough time for one drink, so as not to be rude and also not be super noticeable. What do y'all think?
I'll offer some chicken to this passenger that's next to us.
Food?
I'll
Kinda
pass
like-
on to Naomi.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
You did just see Gleba try to eat it.
He's got a +0 and this will be his insight. He looks at you and he saw you take a bite and then give it to your animal, but doesn't want to come off as rude, so he kind of nods and just very cautiously slides it towards him. Roll a dexterity saving throw for Gleba.
Oh no.
Aww.
Leva's gonna get eaten.
So as he pulls this plate in front of Gleba, Gleba jumps on top of this chicken and looks up at him like a dog does when they're guarding their dinner, and you hear this ribbiting growl as the tongue of Gleba just kind of hangs out of Gleba's mouth for a minute, and he just kind of lets the plate go and just nods like, it's your chicken, you can have it. Gleba is now the proud owner of another half plate of this chicken that she does not want to give up.
I'm so sorry, he doesn't have the best table manners.
Fine, really. I should have probably told you that chicken was, not really for human consumption. It's bad. It's been here for like a month. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, glad that Gleba likes it at least.
She probably gonna throw up later. They might poop a lot. I don't know. I don't know how frog, toad, amphibians work. I don't know. I'm gonna go back over to
Is this a veterinarian?
to my time now.
Actually, as long as they don't throw up and poop.
He could be a veterinarian. We'll say his name is Vince the veterinarian now.
I trust him.
I gotta add his name is Vince the vet. There you go. Should see. Oh, is his name not showing up? Rude.
This
He's
is
Vin-
display nameplate, I think.
Oh, I thought I did that. Oh well.
No.
He's Vince the vet.
We know he's into that.
We know.
There you go.
There
Now
he
you can see it.
is.
I had to take him off the map layer. Yeah, he's Vince the vet. And he just goes. He goes back to what he was doing. Yep.
Entire time he's been writing about frog facts.
This is
He-
the kind of person.
After a minute, he just kind of gets up and excuses himself and just walks past all of you guys and just disappears into another car, into the cart
Is it
from
something
before.
He was so confused. You're like, hey, why'd you leave?
Oh. It's okay, Gleba. We'll try to make more friends later.
Gleba's just
Pat-
enjoying this
Pat him on
month-old
the head
chicken.
while he's focused on his chicken.
Chicken world.
Mm-hmm.
It was
So
just
as
the way I would, while smiling and drinking my beverage, just kind of message the group, like get us on a group Discord message call, be like, so, I guess we move forward in the train? I'm not quite sure what's going on here. How about you guys?
There's a lot of other people that seem to be heading in the same direction.
It's a secret psychic chat. It is rather odd that the single destination was home. And while I would wager I know this one, she kind of like gestures her head towards Ballista, does not have the same definition of home as I do. So it is rather odd that the destination of this train would be home.
Could this
But
train be some kind of
everybody's home?
psychopomp, maybe? Is this the home of everyone where we all return when we wake from the dream?
Well, I can honestly say that fighting those elementals earlier was no dream. So, unless we all died in the middle of battle,
I don't like that theory.
it's not a fond one when you take it onto a battlefield. Naomi will stop talking in the psychic discord, and we'll turn to the woman next to her and say, excuse me, may I ask you a quick question?
oh, yes, dear. What can I help you with?
Forgive me. The train schedule wasn't very detailed. What are the stops of this train?
There is only one stop on this train, and it's home.
I see. Pray tell, where is your home?
Home is where the heart is, so home.
What is near your home? Are there other buildings near that home? Is it in a town? Is it in a forest?
You know, it's just kind of wherever. I don't have a specific place that I call home. I just go to what feels like home, and this train always takes people home, from what I was told.
I extend out an iron-covered hand from my gauntlet, and I say, sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Naomi.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you. My name is Jessica.
Does she take my hand?
She does.
Is it firm?
It's like an old. She's like 72, so it's like an old lady grabbing your hand.
But she has bones. She's not corporeal. That's what I'm checking.
Oh, she has bones. Yeah, she grabs you with about the earnestness of an elderly lady grab a steel gauntlet. So you know.
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
Okay. Roll for bones.
Roll my bones.
She has 14 bones, guys.
Just 14. She's missing about 198 of them. It's fine. She's just a bag of flesh and one hand bone. No.
What's that monster you once used? That.
Oh, the flesh monster? Yeah, that one.
Oh god, don't you dare jinx us, Pi. Don't you bring that in on us.
No, she just seems like a regular person. She doesn't seem corporeal. She seems like a regular elderly lady.
I just give her a polite smile and take my hand back. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay on the train. Well, you know, I guess I'll be seeing you later. And she excuses herself and meanders this way. Gonna turn her so she goes this way. Doop.
Huh.
Boop.
Well, why she'd assume she'd see us later, I'll say to Naomi.
Well, if I were to make an estimate guess, it's kind of hard not to run into the same people in the carts.
True. Maybe we should look for train staff. Maybe they can tell us more about where the train is going, or what home means.
I agree. I'll turn my attention to Ballista.
Who at this point has taken like all of 3 sips of her drink. Taking very slow sips.
You see that the gentleman who's sitting right here, this guy right here, he nods his head to you, Ballista. He stands up and he also exits the train car.
Oh, curious.
Kind of perk my head up a little bit and have a very inquisitive look on my face. I will place my barely touched chilled water on the counter. Kind of stand up from my seat. And we'll walk into the next car.
Naomi is right behind her.
You guys, Anthea and Pax and Galiba, you all see Naomi and Ballista get up and start walking towards the next car up this way. Do you join them or do you stay where you are?
Not Anthea. Way to beat in the. I'll ask her.
Are you cut out?
Yeah, you cut out a bit there when you were asking whatever you were asking.
Oh, should we wait a beat and then follow? I'll suggest.
Sure, sounds good. And I'll just dangle another piece of chicken for Glebe. I'll start to be like poking them towards him on his little island.
And Gleba is jumping at them so happily that his hat falls off.
Aw.
Oh no!
And he doesn't even care. He's too entranced with this chicken. And so you guys make your way. You two make your way up into this next cart. I'm gonna make Gleba a hat token one day. Just so Gleba has a hat token. But that day is not
That's
today.
appropriate.
So you guys make your way up into this cart. You can ignore this little red stuff right there. That's just part of the map that I couldn't get rid of. This looks like a sleeping cart. There are a dozen different beds set up. It looks like the majority of them have not been made. They look like they've been slept in, but this looks to be more so just a cart for sleeping and resting for passengers on this train. So,
No sign of the man from before, right?
no, there's not.
I begin walking forward.
Okay. So I will move you guys up here just a little. Oh no, you disappeared. Where'd you go? Hold on. How'd you end up back here? That was wild.
What?
What?
You guys both ended up in the other cart behind. I don't even know how that happened. I was trying to scoot you up. It was weird. So I'm going to move the other one of you guys, since you are a few steps behind them at this point, up into this cart too. So you guys have all effectively made it into this next cart. But you guys, Ballista and Naomi, are like there. So just so you know where you are. And at the end, Pax, you walk in and you see this to be a sleeping quarters cart as well.
I guess we should tread quietly. A whisper.
There's nobody asleep in here right now. It seems to be empty, but it seems like it has been slept in.
Is that like bloody rags, or is that just unimportant detail?
It's an unimportant map detail that I couldn't
Okay, good.
get rid of.
Michael went on high alert in an instant.
This bird on the Orient Express, I'll say.
You guys do see through these windows though that it is nighttime outside. There does seem to be a very, very large full moon, and it's white silvery glow. There is moonlight coming in through the windows.
Does it look like some of the beds have been assigned? Like, are there little tickets or something, like you see on a normal train?
There does not seem to be any of those things, but it just seems to be that people have slept in them in some order. But there's nothing that signifies that one belongs to passenger A or anyone like that.
So this is a very unstructured train.
Quite.
As I take another step towards the door, just for a minute, because that's how long it lasts, my eyes kind of frost over as I activate my ghastly gaze. My ghostly gaze, my bad.
Cool.
Ooh.
What are you looking for?
I am just looking just in general as I walk towards the door to the next car.
So as you start walking towards the next car, you move slower and slower towards this door. You basically can see into the next car that there is more seating, similar to what you saw in the first car, and you see a single person sitting. As far as that specific ability lets you see there is a single woman sitting on the right-hand side of the seating arrangements. Everything else just looks like a open area of the train where people may store things or get up to stretch their legs and walk around a bit, and then some additional seating where the lady is sitting. They're seating across from her on the opposite side of the car. So, and then if you want, if that lasts for a minute, if you want to, I can put you into the next car too.
Yes, please, because I do plan on walking in there.
Cool. So you're basically gonna step in here. I know Naomi's gonna be like on your butt.
Yep.
Are you two following them in, or are you staying back?
I guess
What
I'd
do you
look to
think, Pat?
NC and see what she wants to do.
Okay. I don't see a reason to wait. I think we could follow them.
Yeah,
Seems like there's nobody here.
be a
Okay.
rear guard.
Cool. Boop, 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 boop. All right. So you guys make your way up. I will just put all of you into the next room now. So let me scoot you over here. So you guys make your way into the next cart, and you see ahead of you. You basically came in from this door, and you are headed this way. yeah, basically I just wrapped the train rather than trying to make it all one, because that seemed very unfeasible. But yeah, so you guys come in and you see ahead of you this large open space like I described, and a few more people in this room, just kind of sitting, minding their own business.
As I walk, I am keeping a specific eye out for that one man from the bar.
Okay.
Man, this is the furthest I've gone without someone breathing down my neck. What's happening?
Look up, she's coming. Don't you worry.
I jump out of the train window.
Please die on your way down. It makes my job easier. Thanks.
I misty step on my way out.
Okay.
I'm just walking through with one goal in mind.
Okay. As you guys all make your way down, down towards the end of the cart, are you two following them, or are you kind of sticking at this distance?
I think
I'll
I'll
do
go
it
into
this time.
here and then sort of like sit across from this lady.
I'll sit with you, so that's not weird. We'll just like, observe and
Yeah.
listen for a minute.
Okay. So as you are making your way and sitting for a second, you guys had closed the door behind you as you entered this cart, and Anthea and Pax, you guys see it slides open, and a gentleman in a suit with a what looks to be a employee hat, like a train employee hat,
Yeah.
comes walking in. He walks this way, and he turns and faces this woman first. Wow, that's gonna put him on his side. But he faces this woman first, and he holds out his hand to her, and she rummages through her little pack, pulls out a ticket, holds it up, and he punches her ticket.
Uh-huh.
And Thea
And he
gives Max a panicked look.
And he turns to the two of you, and seeing the panicked look on your face, says, "Tickets, please." And as you look at
Oh, go ahead.
as you look at this guy, you see that he looks very tired. It looks like he's been working nonstop for a very long time. His clothes are not quite as fancy as the token makes them out to be. They're pretty worn and fairly ragged. You can tell that he's starting to smell, but not to the point where it's acrid or offensive to the senses yet. But he looks very tired, and he's not young. He's in his late 40s, early 50s. He's just looking very weathered, and he's holding out his ticket puncher as to punch both of your tickets.
I will say, we did not pre-purchase. May we buy tickets now that we are on board?
Says, most passengers find that their tickets are often in their pockets, so if you could do me the justice of just double checking your pockets to see if you may have forgotten that you purchased your tickets, so that I may punch them, please.
Of course, kind sir.
Go
I'll
ahead
look for
and,
tickets.
yeah, both of you roll investigation checks on yourself, so at advantage.
I'll take the 18.
And Anthea, you get at advantage.
Okay.
So your panicked,
a lot of pocket.
and you're like looking around all these things, and you feel Gleba climb up your leg, up to your shoulders, and kind of disappear under your hat for a second. And then you feel the slimy tongue come like just dragging down your forehead and hanging in front of your face. There's a train ticket that says the morning rail. And Pax, as you go through your pockets, you reach into a pocket that was empty before, and there's also a ticket that says the morning rail as you pull it out.
Can I quickly examine the ticket for, like, does it seem to be from a particular culture? Is it magical? Are there clues on ticket?
You can go ahead and roll a... Are you looking specifically for magic on the ticket, or just a...
Yeah.
So
like,
roll an Arcana check.
You don't want to be like, yes, have this little scroll of paper that was magic in my pocket. This is fine. This is fine. Let's see what Arcana gets. 16.
It seems like it's magical in the fact that it was not in your pocket, but it is now in your pocket. But it doesn't specifically give off any school of magic that you're familiar with.
Okay. Then I will offer my ticket to the guardsman. And can I like sleight of hand him a gold just because it seems like he could probably use a little gratuity.
100%. You can do that.
Okay, I will do that.
You don't even have to roll. You can just give him a gold and he'll take it.
I will do that.
As you reach out holding the ticket between your index finger and your thumb, he responds in kind by holding out his hole puncher and punches a hole in both of your tickets. And then nods, and he continues to walk his way down here where he punches this lady's ticket, and then he steps up behind Naomi and says the same. Tickets, please.
That Naomi turns around and, in a little bit of a surprise, goes, I seem to have boarded the train without purchasing a ticket. May I buy one now?
I assume you're with the other two who said the same, that they did not previously purchase a ticket.
Yes, they are the travel companions of mine.
Okay.
I am with the King's Royal Guard, and they are traveling with me as well. I don't know if that assists in any way.
He looks at you kind of inquisitively for a second and goes, to answer your statements in kind, oftentimes passengers find that they've forgotten that they have purchased the tickets, and it's often in one of their pockets, so please check those first. In regards to king, there is no king in this realm. I don't know of who you're referring to, but could I just please have your ticket so I can do my job, please? Roll a perception check, Naomi.
Perception, okay. 16.
So you see Vallista try to walk and get out of, to try to step onto the next cart, as they step to about here as you're talking to the ticket guy.
I reach back and I would like to roll probably a dex save to try to grab like the rim of her jacket and hold her still.
We can just do grapple checks, so you can do athletics versus her athletics or acrobatics and see if she can eat you. Oop.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you ain't. You staying still. Get your ass back in that spot.
So you try to step away for a quick second as you see that Naomi's distracted, and almost like subconscious second nature, you just feel this iron gauntlet just grab you in like the lower of your back on your robe and just, and you're kind of stuck there for a second.
I gotta ask.
Mm-hmm.
Does the hood get pulled back?
No. It does not. It wasn't one of those where she was like grabbing you and yanking you back. It was more of one of those she reached out to grab you to stop you from progressing forward. So if she had like grabbed you to like yeet you back to her, then yes, probably. But since it was more of grabbing you and you just kind of like stopped as you felt the tug, it didn't get pulled back. But go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Just hot second. Were these doors like? Are they like the train doors with like the windows to see into the other cart?
Yeah.
So I saw into the other cart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, instinctually, I would like to misty step into the next cart.
Okay. You
As
feel
I feel someone grab me.
You feel the resistance of what you grabbed, Naomi of Vallista, just disappear. Just for this all kind of happens simultaneously as you grab her, and then she's not in your hands anymore. You can do two things. You can either investigate your pockets for a ticket, or you can chase after her. You get to pick which one. All right, cool. So Naomi just takes off running. You guys see Vallista disappear, and Naomi chase her into the next cart. But the ticket taker doesn't seem to be swayed, and you kind of both hear under his breath, he goes, "Everybody gets their ticket punched eventually. I'll find them again." And he walks here and he punches this ticket and then this ticket, and then you see him walk towards the end of the cart.
Could I catch his attention or catch up to him?
Yeah, he's not walking very fast. He basically had to stop here for about 30 seconds between these two, so if you wanted to get up and walk down to him, you could do that.
Yeah, I'd say, well, sorry for the rudeness of my colleagues. they haven't yet cottoned on to this, you know, let's all be a team together thing, and I'll roll my eyes. We are new to this train and weren't expecting to be taking it. What is the nature of this train, and where is this home to which we are going? We feel rather lost.
He looks and he goes, this train goes home, and then it goes back, and then it brings more people home.
I see. I don't see.
I'll kind of like pop over Pax's shoulder and be like, what is home like?
Oh, that's a good question. She's the smart one.
Home is where you can rest peacefully and dream and, well, feel recovered, at least from what I've been told. You guys see at this point, as you're behind, Naomi laying face first on the ground, and Velissa just kind of a few feet forward as she had just kind of stepped. Actually, you would have been 5, 10, 15. Yeah, you would have actually Misty stepped to right here, because that's 30 feet from where you were. Naomi's just face first on the ground, just at the tail end of the mist of Velissa, and Velissa standing there like,
Normally I'd say something to this, but Velista seems very, even to like, she's not trying to hide it. She has something in mind, and she just keeps walking.
Okay. You guys see the ticket taker walk through the door. Oh no, he's on you now. Walk through the door. I'm gonna move you forward a couple steps here so I can put everybody else in this cart, because I assume you guys are coming.
Yeah.
Bam. So you guys follow. You see, you can stop right there, Velista. You guys see that the ticket taker had ticket and punch this lady's ticket, and as Naomi is getting up, he once again says to you, "Madam, I need your ticket, please."
Naomi face first onto the ground. You just hear a loud like thud as her like gauntlet fist just like hits the floor. Like, this is the second time I'm trying to tackle this girl, just gotten away. Ah! But she will get to her feet and dust herself off and kind of refocus herself and say, again I state I don't have a ticket.
You would be so kind as to check your pockets. Rather than running, you might find a ticket to be there, as, again, passengers often forget when they buy things. It's a strange thing about this train, people forget things.
You said something earlier, and she'll like slowly start to like reach into like the storage units of her plate armor and said, you said something earlier that was rather intriguing, and I got a little distracted. You said this plane. Where are we?
Well, we're on this train, of course. Did I say plane? Did I say plane? That must have been a slip. I am very tired. I meant this train. There is no king of this train.
Insight check, please.
Yeah, go for it.
14.
He seems to be honest. He doesn't seem to be actively trying to deceive you in any way, from what you can tell.
Okay, I will look for my ticket then.
As you reach through the storage pockets on your armor, you find, not there before, but you find now, a ticket that says, 1 passenger, morning rail. And as you hold it up between your thumb and forefinger, he responds in kind and punches a hole in your ticket.
Very confused, I will shout, you need a ticket too. And she's just like staring down at this ticket that had suddenly shown up in her pocket. Very, very confused and slightly concerned.
You see that he pushes past you.
Yeah, I was actually going to step out of the way to let him get to the Lista, and then just follow behind him. Very confused at my ticket.
So as you get to this this break between the seating and go to step forward into the next seating section. You go to step forward, and there's almost like a small barrier stopping you. Not anything that's like, it doesn't seem dangerous in any way, but it just seems to be this barrier that is impeding you from passing through. And the suited gentleman from behind you says, "You cannot advance until your ticket has been punched. Please provide me your ticket so that I may punch it and continue on my daily duties."
I assume I've heard all the talk about the tickets.
Yeah.
I kind of just absent-mindedly reach into one of my pockets to look for a ticket.
You find one where you very much know there wasn't one before. And as you reach out and you hand him ticket, held between your thumb and forefinger, he pinches it, he punches a hole in it again in kind. He says, "Well, if you'll excuse me, I am going to punch a few more tickets and continue my daily duties." And just kind of squeezes past you for a second, walks. As he walks through, you see that this, what seemed to be a barrier, just kind of shimmers and falls. And he punches this person's ticket, and makes his way through the cart. And then he's out of your view as he steps through and slides the door shut behind him.
I am just standing there, very intrigued.
Naomi steps up behind Ballista, and for the first time in this whole thing, it's not in a threatening way. She's just looking very confused at her ticket, and is looking at Ballista's ticket, and then looking at her, giving her the look like, what just happened? But she doesn't say anything.
Yeah, Ballista kind of has her own look of intrigue and sort of confusion on her face, while still remaining that, look of, there's something I need to do.
Okay. You guys kind of see from the back, you see this happen, you see that the ticket puncher punches both of their tickets, walks around them, and then passes through to the next cart. And you kind of see those two standing there. Naomi, for the first time, not really being aggressive towards Ballista, but what do you guys wish to do from the back of the cart?
That's a good question. I guess investigate further? Keep going forward on the train?
Yeah, I guess there's only one way to go.
Okay. So you guys all make your way to the next cab of this train?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I definitely keep walking.
Okay, I'm gonna move you guys all right here then. And I'm gonna move you all into this next cart. As you get through, you see this cart looks a little bit different. It looks comparatively very, very wealthy. You see there is a man sitting right here in what looks to be nobility, or the wear of what nobility would wear, the clothing of nobility. I mean, he kind of has that aura about himself that he thinks very highly of. You see a young girl sitting here reading something which looks very advanced for her age. Then you see a woman in a very, very elegantly sewn dress standing right here, and another woman further off down the cart, just kind of relaxing on these very nice purple satin velvet couches that look like they're made of better material than anything else you've seen thus far on this train.
Greet them as we go by, I suppose?
Do I, out of curiosity, recognize any of them?
Roll a history check.
Okay. Love me some plus zeros. 19.
They don't look familiar. They have the same look about them as other lords and ladies and nobility that you've met throughout your life, but these folks in particular don't look like anybody that you immediately recognize.
Okay. So none of them look like the man in particular doesn't look like the man from before.
No, he does not. These folks are much better dressed than those who you have seen before.
And so far with each cart we've gone through, I haven't seen that man again.
Correct.
Okay, I keep walking.
Okay. As you guys are walking, Naomi, make me a religion check at advantage.
I'm proficient in that. Okay.
Something feels wrong. It's the same type of ping that you get when you actively sit and focus, like you're looking for non-humanoid beings using your paladin capabilities. It feels similar to that. So something just feels not right about this card.
I will reach forward and very gently place the palm of my gauntlet on Ballista's shoulder, and I will say, wait, just a second. And before she can respond, I will flash Divine Sense again.
As you flash Divine Sense, you know that within 30 feet of you, there's a fiend.
Ooh.
And it's this direction.
Which direction? I didn't see a flash.
Oh wait, that's because I'm on the wrong layer. Hold on. This way. Yep. Towards the end of the cart that you're on right now, you feel a small ping of a fiend. You feel a small welling up of hatred just for a quick second inside your body, and you recognize that as that of a fiend.
I will slowly take my hand off of Felicia's shoulder, and I will say, tread carefully. There's something dangerous ahead.
As you say that, you all notice that the lights in here go dark immediately.
Ooh.
And they're off for a couple of seconds, and as they come back on, you see that all of the people in this cart are gone. The book fell to the ground. And as you look at the book, you see that it says History of the Train. That's all the book says.
Nice. This is useful. Can I try to take a look inside and see if it gives me any train tips?
Yes. Go ahead, and you can either roll a perception or an investigation check.
Alright, I'll do perception. 23?
As you are looking through this train book, you're expecting there to be words in the book, but there's not. There's no words. There's no pictures. As you flip through what seem to be blank pages, you just get a feeling. You get this feeling of comfort, followed by dread, followed by comfort again, and exhaustion, and then back. It's almost like you went from being relaxed to excessive exercising and feeling very tired and very sleepy, and you got right to the point of like being in that twilight scape of wanting to fall asleep, and then you snapped back. And you just get this feeling that there's something wrong with the train, and that it might not be what it thinks it is. what you think it is.
Oh no. I sit down.
As you sit down, and
Oh,
as
no.
you are kind of, you feel yourself, you sit in this chair, and this chair feels like a really big warm hug. It's very, have you ever sat in an oversized beanbag chair and then all of a sudden you're very tired for no reason?
Yeah.
Kind of how this feels right now when you sit in this chair. Like it's just embracing you and trying to call you in to just rest.
Resist, Anthea, resist, I will say.
It doesn't-
Or have I noticed this, I guess?
You notice her sitting down, and you start to see her eyes get a little heavy. But you don't feel like you're actively being forced to fall asleep. You just get very relaxed. And as you are starting to fall into that deep-seated relaxation, Naomi, you're keeping a sharp eye, and you see appear before you, where the lights had dimmed and gone dark and they come back. It's almost like there's a spot on the ground where this now dimly lit train cabin, there's almost this pit of shadow on the ground, and as you look at it, it kind of rises up into this winged shadow creature and just stares at all of you. Its wings
I'll try to
beating.
message it and say, be ye friend or foe?
Okay. What language are you messaging it in?
Let's try Sylvan, why not?
As you
Value
message
signal
it,
here.
as you specifically message it in Sylvan, you see its eyes glow bright, burning red, and it starts baring its dark, dripping, wet teeth at all of you, and its wings unfurl even more, and it beats them towards you, and you feel this like dark, cold wind being blasted towards you. Not doing any damage, but you just feel the temperature in the room drop by about 25 degrees in the blink of an eye.
Oh, so what I'm used to.
Feels oddly comforting for you. And you see that this demon is quickly going to take a few steps towards Philista, and we're gonna roll initiative.
Oh, damn it.
Surprise!
Oh boy.
Oh, that's not the button I wanted. This button.
Oh, I got a
10.
natural 2.
Gimme.
Oh no.
18.
Well, natural 1.
So you rolled it.
Unnatural 2.
Enter. You had a 17. Cool. So you guys see this shadow demon just fly and step right to Ballista, getting ready to attack in some way. It's got its claws out, ready, and it is your turn, Naomi.
All right. Naomi's going to pull her glaive off of her back and come. Actually, she pulls her glaive off her back and then she ponders for a quick second, and I will ask the DM, can I go because I have a 10-foot reach? Can I go through Ballista to hit it?
Sure, but if you roll a natural 1, you're gonna hit Ballista.
Okay. I yell duck.
Okay.
There!
And I'm going to expend one of the charges of my glaive to, as part of the action, to knock it back 10 feet.
Oh shit, oh yeah, okay.
23 to
Oh.
hit.
Yeah, that hits. And it gets knocked back 10 feet. Okay. You push it back 10 feet?
Yep, and then I move in front of Ballista.
Okay.
And then I take another swing because I have a 10-foot reach.
Alright.
A 9.
That misses. As you knock it back, you go to swing at it, and it's just kind of, you see it kind of becomes incorporeal for a moment, and it's like you are legitimately trying to slice through a shadow, and then as your glaive comes through, it reforms into its more corporeal form.
I look over my shoulder at Ballista and I say, "Get back!" And then I look forward at it, and that's the end of my turn.
Bonus actions? Okay.
Yes, sorry. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Turn
Okay,
around.
yeah. 17, it does hit it.
Awesome.
All right, Pax.
Yes. I'm looking for the description of my magic cookie thingies, and they're not showing it. Oh, there we are. No, Saturn sheet. Got it. I think I'm gonna. So let's see here. Anthea's after me in the Ballista. I'm going to say to Ballista, "We've got your back. If you stay with us and don't run, you'll probably have a better chance of living." And I'm going to bardic inspiration her with my back
Okay.
action.
Nice. First bardic inspiration, I think. Oh, maybe the second. I don't know.
Yeah, I think yes. Like, 'cause I'm doing
I think
other
it is
bonus
your
action
first.
stuff,
I
you
think it
know?
is your first one. Yeah.
Yeah, so a little music note flying over your head. Which, if it doesn't work, you get an extra thingy.
And now,
Yes, it's a D10.
Jesus.
And I want to do the running mirthful leap and try and kick him in the face and push him back some more. So we're gonna run to here and do a long jump, and I'm trying to like leap and kick him in face, and then kind of back up away.
Okay. So go ahead and do that. So you'll basically end up in front of Naomi as you do this. Okay. So roll an attack, and we'll see if you hit with your leaps.
Okay, then.
With your magical hooves. Yeah, basically just like that that gift shows current game threat. Just like that. Just bam.
Attack with my status shoe. So I'll just roll, I guess, a D20 plus Dex plus the D20 plus 6. Let's roll that.
Yep.
Right,
Yeah.
D20 plus 6.
17. It does hit. So you end up right here, and then how far do those push him back?
So I get an extra D6 of damage. Use the momentum force produced to increase. Oh, because it doesn't actually push him back. It just damages them more.
Okay. Cool. So it's what, D6, I think is what it said it was?
Yes.
Uh,
We did push him before. I don't remember how we did that, Alex.
it's 1d plus dex. I think what we did was you opted to go for the shove instead of the damage, and so you took the shove action as part of the attack instead of doing the damage, so you just pushed him 10 more feet.
Got it.
So,
Can I do that then instead?
Yeah.
The D6 isn't terribly important, but the shove away from friends seems good.
Yeah, we can do that. So cool. So bam. So he gets pushed back here even further. Cool.
Ah.
So you are now there, and that'll be your turn.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Action
So this shadow demon, after just getting knocked back 20 feet from where they were, you see that in this dimly lit room, they're going to try and fade into the shadows for a second. And I need the three of you, because you're right there, to all make me perception checks. It's going to try and hide. Oh yeah, so you see that it, Naomi doesn't see this. She's too enthralled by the fact that Pax just sprints and just like jumps in front of her. But Pax and Ballista, you see that the shadow tries to fade over here. And for you, Naomi, it just disappears for a split second. But then the shadow reappears. It's in front of you, Pax. It was trying to hide as its bonus action and shadow up to you. But it is going to go ahead and, since you're the one right there, it's going to take 2 claw attacks at you.
You think the darkness is your ally?
So the first attack is an 18 to hit. You can ignore the second set of damage. That's if a specific thing occurs, but it doesn't. So
My
with an
AC is
18,
so both hit.
yeah, so that's a total of 26 psychic damage from these 2 shadow claws as it just
Okay.
comes down on top of you. And it's going to stand right there, and you just see that this, like, you feel this dark, oppressive force come over you, and it's almost like an encroaching migraine where, even though it's now only dimly lit in this cabin, the light's almost too much. It's like looking around, just that psychic blast to the head is just too much for you to handle.
Okay.
So, Anthea.
Does my sentinel go off?
Does he move into?
My reach.
Yeah, your reach. Yeah.
Yeah, my reach is 10 feet.
That's fine. He's not trying to move anywhere else, but yeah, you can
Awesome.
sentinel him.
Duck.
Yeah.
20.
Okay.
That totally hits. Yep. And that is Anthea's turn.
Am I glued to the chair?
No, it's just a very, very comfortable chair.
I like groan as I pull myself out of the chair. It's so comfy. Okay, wow. How are you looking, Pax? Did you get hit by this thing?
Ow.
Ow?
Ow.
Okay. Ow is
I'm
the
dizzy.
answer.
Which way's
Alright.
up? Which way's up? I'm not.
I don't know why your token didn't update like I wanted it to. Dumb.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
well.
why I just thought I'd ask. So, can I would like to try to use Healing Spirit. Can I basically chuck Gleba in there?
Yes. Yes, you can.
And
Friends.
And you're throwing
Healing
Gleba at 60
friends!
feet. Cool. Do you want Gleba like
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah.
Alright, and
Right.
it's what, a 5 foot?
You get the 5-foot cube, I think it is.
And so you get 3 healing point. Or 11 healing points, sorry. Packs as you throw Gleba in there. That's a concentration
Alright.
spell, right?
It is for 1 minute.
Cool.
Okay,
Oh.
and I still have an action, so I suppose I could try to sort of gooch myself over here. Would I have a line of sight if I wanted to shoot?
Yeah,
with the
you can
crossbow?
see it. It's taller than everyone in your party. It's this darker shadow at the end.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make a ranged attack with my crossbow then.
Okay. 15 does hit. And your crossbow is not magical, so it goes through with a little bit. Okay.
And that's my
Anything
turn.
else? All right. Ballista.
I do indeed kind of take a step back a little bit.
Remember, you got that healing, Michael. It's not updating on your token for some reason.
Oh, okay.
You got 11. It might
we
update
go.
now in D&D Beyond. I kick stuff around, so I'm hoping that if you update your D, it kicks over to your token. If not, we'll just manage your token and fix it later. So you can move over there, Ballista.
My first thought to ask is, do I recognize this thing? What it is?
You can roll a history check. Sure.
Would that be my action?
No.
Okay. History. 14.
You know that sometimes there are shadows that can come alive, and you know there are demonic beings that take darker shadowy forms, and this is probably some mix of those. You may not have ever fought one specifically, but you know there are creatures that can take shadow forms.
Okay. I'm going to throw 2 Eldritch Blasts at it because that's how much I get, correct?
Yeah, until level 11 you get 3.
Okay, and for the first time during this entire train journey, I'm going to kind of raise my right hand, the frosted overhand, and unleash 2 beams of Frosty Eldritch Blast.
Okay. They both hit Jesus for 26 damage. Yep. They're having a bad time. Yeah, that both hit. Frost-Ridge Blast.
As I end my turn, I just look very curiously at it.
Okay. Naomi.
How's he looking?
Not very well.
Okay.
He's getting smaller and smaller the more and more damage you guys do to him.
I had a fun idea, but I think I'm gonna save it for the possibility of later. So I'm going to step beside Pax and take another swing with my glaive. 11.
That misses.
And then 23.
That hits.
6 points of slashing damage. And whoops, that's not the. I want. Where is it? Okay.
That misses.
Wow. Oh, it's gonna be a rough night, guys.
Welcome to me rolling as you last time.
That's fair. That's fair. That's very fair indeed.
I have cursed your dice.
No, no, don't, don't.
Anything else you would like to do?
No, that is the end of my turn.
Okay. Pax.
Is he wearing any metal?
He looks to be just made of shadow.
Oh. Dang it, I can't heat shadow, says Pax.
You can, it might not do anything.
Well, when you can't be Bernie, you can be loud. And I'm gonna do like bagpipe and power thunder blast. This is just flavor, but you know, why not?
Yeah, try.
So that comes through? Maybe?
Yes. DC 16 Constitution saving throw. Cool, it basically pushes a 15-foot cube this direction. Alright. Constitution save. He rolls a 14. So as you blast out this imbued bagpipe thunder damage, you hit him, and it doesn't look like he should be able to hold his entire form, but it still looks like the damage doesn't quite do as much as you expect it to do. He's on death's door, but not quite what you thought would happen.
I will, I guess, no, I won't step back because then he'll whack me. So I will Bardic Inspire. Who's next? Anthea. So Anthea, my magic doesn't seem to be working very well. See what you can do.
And then he gets 2d6 at the start of his turn if you want him to. So, and Gleba gets what, 5 uses of that? I think. So this will, after this, Gleba will have 3 left. Wow, that's like the whole size of Gleba's face. So you can roll a 2d6 and give it to Pax. That's what you get for standing by Gleba the frog, the healing frog.
Oh.
Cool. So you get 3.
It's something.
So this shadow you see is going to try and recede into the floor and try and disapparate into the shadows.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
He's going to stay there. He's not going to try and hide.
Okay.
Tried that before and missed. So he is just going to take 1 swing at Pax and 1 swing at Naomi, though. So the first will be at Pax. The second will be at Naomi. 21 to hit for 9 psychic, and then a 14, which I'm pretty sure misses Naomi, for 11.
Yep.
Well,
I believe my sentinel goes off with that.
Does it go off when you hit something beside you?
When provokes an attack of opportunity when engaged, when a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you that doesn't have this feat, you can use your reaction to make a melee attack against the creature.
Yep. Alright, take a smackaroo. That hits. As you slash down on this, or slash into this shadow with the glaive, for a quick second, you feel this pulsating golden warmth emit from you into the shadow, and it kind of shrivels up and explodes. And as the shadow explodes, the whole room immediately goes pitch black. And when the light returns, you see that the shadow has reformed, but larger and spookier.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna roll a new initiative because it's technically a new character. Jesus. Well, it's where it is now. So, you know. And it's there, and it's bigger, and it's badder, and it is spookier. And there. It is your turn.
Wow, wonderful. Let me just check something. Okay. Let's do this. I would like to try to cast confusion on it.
Okay. What's the condition that it actually puts on it? Let's see, or is it just the confused condition?
No,
there is a condition.
That's the thing.
10-foot radius sphere.
There's a wisdom save, and then it has like things that happen.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Or a wisdom save.
Please don't be wise. Okay.
I hate
So
this
it's
spell
failed?
so much. Yeah. No, I really don't
Sorry,
like
not
this spell.
sorry.
As a DM, it's fine. It's a great spell. I just hate it because I always get battle screwed over because of it, like 4 times. Anyway, this one,
Okay.
as you can probably tell, its name has changed from Shadow to the Nightmare Demon. This one, as you each take a look at it, it looks different for each of you. Like your worst nightmares become corporeal as you're staring at this thing. And now it looks confused, and as you stare at it, now it's like just a scarily confused version of your worst nightmare.
And then do I roll the d10 or do you? That's a of its
let's
turns. It has to decide what it does. There's a chance.
So yeah, so on the
normal.
start of its turn, you can roll the d10, and we will see what happens.
Okay,
So-
perfect.
All right, Ballista.
Uh-huh. So it's bigger and looks like our worst nightmare.
Looks bad.
Interesting.
I can tell you what it looks like for you if you want, or I'll let you. No, I'll let you keep your worst nightmare to yourself. That doesn't need to be public. Not yet.
Why don't you whisper it to me?
Nope.
Oh, that's messed up. Because knowing what it looks like was actually going to affect my actions.
Mm-hmm. There will be a time. I mean, not now. What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna take a few steps backwards and throw some Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. Roll me some attacks. Oh, the first one misses horribly. It
Yeah,
goes
it
right
does.
through. The second one, however, does hit. Okay. Anything else in your turn?
How do familiars work?
You can use your bonus action to command them to do something.
Okay. Alright, that's fine. That's my turn.
Okay. Naomi, you see this bigger, scarier version of the shadow you fought, but this one looks like your worst possible nightmare. Become corporeal.
Does this look like a creature that could be affected by a touch spell?
You see no reason why it couldn't be. Nothing that you have done so far could prove one way or the other. You imagine that if it's similar in its build and its structure to the previous character you just fought, the previous shadow, that your glaive had physical effects to it, so you would imagine that a touch spell could do similar things.
Okay. So for flavor, the end of her glaive lights up, and she takes a swing at the shadow, and essentially I want to hit it, and I want to try to cast light on it. So I need that dexterity saving throw DC 15. Dang it!
Okay.
Let
no
out.
more healing spirit for glebes.
No glaives. I pull my glaive back and I spin it above my head, and then I'll take my bonus action. Oh no, I can't because I didn't take the attack action.
Correct.
I look at Pax and I say, "Sir Pax, do you think you could put some light on it?" And that'll be the end of my turn. I'm gonna hold my ground there.
Pax, it is your turn.
Then I'll say, well, I can try. DM, is the train moving fairly quickly?
Yeah, you can feel it moving quickly under you. It's moving, like if you look outside, you can see everything speeding past pretty quickly. The moon still looks like it's solidly in the sky, but it slowly moves.
Okay.
You've moved with it, but it's not moving fast enough that you can't like keep your balance.
Okay. So rules is written. I don't think this would work, but I just wanted to see your interpretation, Alex. Could I cast Dimension Door on someone else, like in the floor above the shadow, so he just falls off the tracks?
So you would have to. So you would have to, because you have to go with the dimension door. So you would have to be able. The only one that you can forcibly send someone out is plane shift somebody else, or the banish one would also work. But if you wanted to dimension door him somewhere, you have to grab him, and then I would have them roll a save to resist it. Yeah, you'd have to reheat yourself. So.
So Naomi just sees a strange look pass over Pax's face as he had like a great idea, but no, it was a bad idea. And says, "Oh, light that is a sensible idea. That is probably a better idea than what I had." So I'll go ahead and try to cast light on the creature. My spell save DC is not as high as hers, I don't think. Spell save DC is 16 for light.
Dang it!
And I will shrug. If I step away, he will opportunity attack me.
You don't know.
That's true. I don't know. He might not. How tall is the ceiling in this car?
About 15 feet high. It's a fairly tall train.
Then yeah, I'll bonus action cast jump with my magic things and try and just like standing jump up to like leap back. So like a not really disengage, but like a hup, like yeet myself backwards.
Okay. They're gonna try and attack at you just the one time because you tried to light him up again. Ugh. 9 damage.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
But alright. So at the beginning of his turn,
Hey, I get to
Mateia,
do
roll
the
that
thing.
d10. You're right, you do. That hits. Roll that d10.
It's a 4.
4.
Which
Doesn't move or take action. What's funny about confusion is it limits your movement and your actions, but not your bonus actions. You can still have bonus actions.
Oh no.
So you have jumped away, so I need a perception both from you, Naomi, and you, Pax, to see if you see anything.
Ah!
Is it a range-based thing? Like, does my being able to see through magical darkness help me see it all, or is it ranged?
It's not an attack.
Well, I know. I assume it's
you
trying to hide, but
Yep.
that's why I asked about the whole magical darkness thing. If it's a range, like I have to be in a certain range to see him hiding, or if that has any effect on it.
Are you talking about your devil sight?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just curious.
you would still be able to see him because
Okay.
it's just regular darkness that he's trying to hide in. I will, since he had to step away for a second, I'll just do this. I will just roll a perception check for him from his sheet. Maybe 10. Okay, both of you failed. You guys see just for a split second, whew, the shadow fades away. But nothing else happens because he can't do anything else. He just seems to blend with the shadow around him. Anthea. Yo, you can roll a perception check too, Anthea, because you can also see this way. And it's not like darkness, it's just dim light.
Sure.
He's just a shadow. Oh, nope. It was a 25. That's what he rolled. He rolled really, really well.
Okay, so I can't see him?
No. He is technically hidden. Yes. He blended
Well,
with the
okay.
shadows.
I'm still
Not that I
going
can do anything,
to...
but here we are. So...
I'm going to wild shape into my symbiotic entity.
Oh shit. Okay.
Why not? Because I don't know where this thing is and I don't like it. So I'm just gonna.
It should add the temporary hit points to your thing, as long as the token's working right.
I hit that. Will it do it?
No, I think you have to add them to your
No.
sheet. Yeah, if you add them to your
Oh,
sheet,
I
they should pop up.
Okay.
Yeah, they should pop up on your token, theoretically.
So 36.
Yep, yours
work?
works. Yep, I think
Perfect.
Michael's is the only one that doesn't for some reason. I don't know
Oh.
why.
Okay.
I don't
So,
know. I'll find
that's-
it later.
And then bonus action movement. I'm going to let's see. Can I just scooch by?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then can I stand here, or is there like furniture
You
in my
can
way?
stand. You can stand there. You can
Okay,
just like
cool.
throw it out the way and stand there.
Awesome. So, yeah, I'm in my spore form. I've got like different fungi all over me now, and I just like charge forward to stand next to Pax. And as I do that, I'm going
Friendship.
to healing word as well, because Pax, poor Pax. So let's do that. So that's 12.
It's a really good healing
Wonderful.
word.
Anthea the beautiful, Anthea the brave. I'm singing your
When
praises.
that thing pops out, we're gonna get it.
All right. Ballista.
So I still see it.
You do, because you have devil sight and you can see in the dark. And through darkness.
I just take another step backwards, and to, I guess everyone else, I'm firing at nothing, but I know what I'm firing at, so I send 2 more Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. Roll me some attacks.
Do I
they-
still have,
They
what's it
both
called?
miss. Inspiration? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's that, a D10?
D10, yeah.
So I'm just gonna add that to the second one.
So you add it
Is
to
that
the
smarter?
second one? Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a d10. That will hit the second one.
And
Since that's an attack roll,
it explodes. Or something like that, right?
He gets pushed 10 feet back, right?
Immediately after the creature rolls the bardic inspiration die to add it to an attack roll against the target, the moat thunderously shatters. The target and each creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet of it must succeed on a con saving throw against his spell's save DC or take thunder damage equal to the number rolled on the bardic die.
What? That seems
Yep.
not allowed. But anyway,
I'll post
what
it in chat.
No, it's fine. I believe you. Constitution saving throw, you said?
Yeah.
Yes.
I then
Dang
assume
it.
he does not take that 7 thunder damage. So
Probably
just
not.
14
Yeah.
force.
All right, got it.
That is my turn.
Cool. All right, Naomi, you saw. Does your thing push him 10 feet back?
I have the thing that adds extra damage, not the pushback.
Okay, cool. So Naomi, you saw 2 things of force fly by you. One of them seemed to connect with something, but
Did
don't.
I see where I landed?
The explosion. It's more so that like because this when they hit, you saw like a musical note kind of follow it, and then it just explodes. And you're kind of bracing your eyes a little bit. You can roll a perception check and see if you can see it. I will tell you, they rolled a 25 for their stealth. So no, you don't see it.
Nope.
What? You can swing into the shadowy darkness at disadvantage if you would like, and just kind of hope. But it's up to you.
I need to check something. Yes, I will swing into the darkness. 20.
At disadvantage.
Nope.
Because you can't see him.
Natural
no.
1.
Nope.
A 12.
Oh,
No, that will also miss.
Okay. Whoops. 7. That would
Also
have been
miss.
another natural 1. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You're just swinging and you're just not connecting or finding resonance with anything. Pax.
Well, since Naomi is not finding purchase there, but I know the general direction,
That's the word.
let's see here. I'm going to step forward, thunder wave, and then step back.
Okay.
Just step forward first.
Okay.
Because being at the front is dangerous, is what Pax is learning.
True.
Let's do it. Do I have slots? Yes, I have a level 4 slot left. Why not? Let's do that. So DC 16. Yay! We get pushed back 10 feet. Ha!
So as you, does it move stuff? Does Thunderwave move people?
Yes, creatures in the area make the save and are pushed back if they fail the save. So he's pushed back 10 feet.
Okay, so you see the shadow reappear in front of you, and because he's forcibly moved out of the way, you can't get the attack of opportunity to keep him there. He was forced away. But the damage doesn't seem to do as much as you would like it to, even though it was a failure. Seems like shadows don't seem to be as affected by your thunderous sounds as other creatures. So, and you moved away, but yeah, you can move as far away as you want now because you.
I will back up. And I'll bonus action. I think Naomi doesn't have inspiration, so Naomi, I'll say, you can do it. Even though it's in the dark, I think you can still smite it. Your will is strong, and your smite is stronger. Have a D10.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna give you this flag. Oh, you have one. Cool, you got a heart. Good. All right, roll me that D10 and see what happens. A 3. What happens with a 3?
It's the same thing.
Yep, this is why confusion sucks as the DM, because when I can't pass... Oh, I got to pass a save. I should have rolled a save for the last time. Hold on, because I forgot I could roll a wisdom save at the end of my last turn.
Hold up a minute.
I think you can do it this turn. Go for it.
At the end of each turn.
well, there it is.
Whew. I'm not confused anymore. Whew. I can do stuff this turn. Yes! Alright, well, I'm just going to run back in. Run in! Right here. He's going to take an attack at the thing that confused him, and then attack at the thing that keeps messing up his day. So,
Oh, no.
Gleba and Naomi. This first one's going to go against, not Gleba, against you. Gleba's fine.
Leave Gleba out of this.
Yeah.
16 for 8. And then
Okay.
this other one against Naomi. 9 for nothing.
Seven.
Yeah, 22 for 12. Well, she's not within 5 feet of you. No. She's 10 feet from you. I think it says specifically 5 feet, right? Because she's not 5 feet within you. She's 10
let me
feet away.
check.
I think. Yes, no.
To the rulebook.
Yep, you are correct. Within 5 feet of me, you were right.
No, it's when a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against target other than you. The target doesn't have to be within 5 feet of you. The creature that's attacking does. So yeah, you get to hit him. So like, if this thing was smaller and stepped over to this square right here and attacked those two, you wouldn't have got the sentinel.
It would
So.
be my reach though, because that's
Well, sentinel specifically says the target within 5. The target that's attacking, the attacker has to be within 5 feet of you. It's not I don't think that applies to the reach of the weapon. I think that's just if they're beside you attacking. I think. Well, I'll look into it later.
I think
But either
that's
way,
more of a
you-
shieldy thing.
Either way, you hit him this time because he's big and within 5 feet of you. So 12 hits. 22 hits for 12 damage. Cool. Alright, and there, this giant nightmare shadow demon just like ran up in your face.
Rude.
Its turn in range of my spores.
It
Or do
did.
I have to wait till next turn?
Nope, it ended its turn within range of your spores.
Okay, so
gonna have to
because
get
I'm a
ranged
nice
enemies from
symbiotic
now on.
entity, that's 2d6 instead of 1d6 of
Uh-huh.
spores. Can I roll that?
Yeah,
Okay. Here come the spores.
it's
Roll
necrotic.
spores. Uh-huh.
Okay, so the spores do some damage, but not quite as much as you think they should be doing. They're weaker to a shadow.
And that costs a bonus action, right? Sorry, just let me check so I don't make things up. Halos. Oh, there's so much stuff. I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, it's a reaction. So I have a bonus action then.
There you go.
Awesome. So, if I do Shillelagh on
Which is a
my
bonus action.
staff, which would be an attack action. That works, right? I can do that.
Yeah, so the Shillelagh is the bonus action, and the attack is the action, yep.
Okay, perfect. And then can I also stack my extra static entity damage on that? I think it won't add it to this, but I'm just gonna roll it like that.
I think in D&D Beyond you can turn on... Yeah, you can. You can turn on
Ooh.
Symbiotic Entity. and it'll
How
just
do
do
I
it
do
for
that?
you. So if you go above where your wisdom and charisma mods are, there's the Beyond 20 button. If you
Okay.
click it and scroll to the bottom, there's a little thing that says Druid Circle of Spore Symbiotic Entity.
Okay.
You turn that on, and then when you roll, it will. The 16's gonna hit,
Okay.
so you're gonna hit no matter what. But if you roll it
It's
again,
on.
it should do it. So just roll that again and see what happens.
Roll the.
You roll the
again?
attack again. Yep.
Okay.
That's weird that it didn't do it. It's probably. Oh,
Very weird.
try. Did you get it? Did it work? Try rolling it from just doing like the quarterstaff attack and see if it adds it to that. Because effectively, it should be where it comes from. I don't. There you go.
Oh,
That's where it's
yeah.
from.
There it is.
So yeah.
Neat.
So 24 hits
cool.
for 11 plus 4, right?
And is
Yeah.
that my? Yeah, that's symbiotic entity.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
And it-
Perfect.
Cool.
That is
There-
cool. Thank
there
you
you go.
for the
Mhm.
patience with that.
So 11, 15. You, as you reach out with your fungal mushroom covered, newly empowered magical quarterstaff. There was a lot to describe that weapon right there.
It's got a lot going on.
You smack into it and you see your fungal network kind of take over. And you see that now this giant nightmare shadow demon creature, who was once this terrifying looking black monster of shadow, becomes just as mushrooms just start popping up over it. And you start to see the network, the actual mushroom network, build itself almost like it's taking over what should be a nerve network of this shadow demon. And then all of a sudden, you see the shadow falls to the ground and grows into a little mushroom garden in the base of this train between these two benches, and it dies. Now you have a little mushroom garden right in the middle there.
Aw.
I gotta make a range.
Mushrooms to save the day, as should be.
As you guys complete combat, you start to feel this sense of sleepiness and tiredness kind of fall over you all. And you just have the urge to want to lay down and take it for a little while. You can resist, but you have the urge to want to lay down. What do you do?
Does it seem safe to? Or is there a way to check if it's safe to?
Yeah, you can all roll perception checks if you want to.
Appropriate.
You guys are looking at each other. Like, no nap for you. Who naps first? Yeah, between Pax and Naomi, you guys look around, and it doesn't seem like there doesn't feel to be any danger in this room. The folks who were there before are still gone. They do not seem to be present, but it does feel like this room seems as safe as any other so far.
I guess those beds would be more comfortable, Pax will suggest, thinking back to the bed car.
I don't trust this feeling. I would like to attempt to try and move to the next car.
Okay. So you attempt to move down this way.
Yeah.
You attempt to push open that door, and it does not seem to want to open.
That door is pretty sus.
Can't get the door open.
I just stand there in a moment of silence looking at the door. After I tried opening it.
Maybe it's magically locked, Pax will say.
Can I roll a perception check on the door? Or investigation, whatever you'd prefer, to try to figure out why it's not opening?
Yeah, you can roll an investigation check.
I do the same.
Sure.
Investigation?
Why is door?
Yeah,
Yep,
that's fair.
investigation. Seems like it's locked.
You know what? For giggles, because I don't have it for very long. Sure, why not?
It seems like it's locked.
Very locked.
Uh-huh.
Is there a handle on the door?
With
You
all
get to
of
roll
these
it twice,
doors,
by the way, and choose which one you want, Naomi,
Oh,
when you're making an ability check with a bargain inspiration.
8, please. I don't learn anything new, but
It's really
it's tremendously locked.
so locked.
So locked. But yeah, so it's just like the other doors. They seem to have like a handle that you slide a little bit, and then the door you can walk through it. So one of those sliding doors. So this seems locked.
do you want
I
to
guess
come
we
forward?
nap here or really fight it.
I would like to grab the handle with my right hand, which is the one that was under the cloak,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to attempt to frostbite the handle and shatter it off, so that we can just push open the door, or like slide open the door without the handle.
Okay. So roll a frostbite attack.
I mean, if it's a con save.
Yeah, I know. I just want to see the damage. 7. So you freeze the door, and you go to rip it open. And Naomi, because you're right there, you see it, but just barely. As the door begins to rip open, it's almost like inside the frame of the door where it would slide open. You see it for about 3 inches before the door slams itself back shut again. You think you saw musculature or tendons, but it's a door, so that doesn't make sense.
What? Naomi says that out loud. What?
Kind of under her breath, Felista just says, I don't like this.
Neither do I. But I would like to try something. Will you step aside?
I take a few steps back.
Naomi's gonna step up to the door and hold up her glaive and give it a small spin. And I would like to spend a level 2 spell slot to light it on fire with Searing Smite. And I want to slice along the side of the door that would essentially be like holding that latch together with just the flaming white hot end of my glaive.
Roll an attack roll with some damage.
God damn it.
You,
I'm not attacking it. I'm like shoving it in there and like
Yeah.
scraping it.
as you stick the white hot end of your glaive in the door and start running it along the edges, trying to burn and sear your way through. While the door doesn't necessarily give and open, you do smell what smells like meat being cooked.
I go all the way to the top and then I yank my glaive out.
You can see there are burn and scorch marks along the edges of the door, and the smell of burned older meat does permeate your nostrils, but the door itself does not yet give.
If I look as the searing white fades away and I look at the end of my glaive, is it covered in blood?
It's covered in darker, now dried blood, yes.
I turn around and I hold my glaive out the full extension of the 10 feet to Ballista, and I just gently like gesture my head towards the end of my glaive to show her the blade.
I would like to examine the blood.
Okay. You all, Pax and Anthea, you guys can also see this as they're not that far ahead of you, but you see the dried, scorched amount of blood on the end of Naomi's glaive from the searing smite between the door frame. You can roll a medicine check, Phyllis, since you're looking at the blood specifically.
Sure. 11.
This looks like old dried blood.
I'm kind of doing the thing where the end of the glaive is pointed towards me, right?
No.
I believe so.
She would have turned it and laid it flat for you to be able to see. Not only see that it was dried blood, but how far it got up off from like the tip of the glaive. How
Well, I mean,
far
like
it
you're
got onto
pointing
the blade.
the glaive, right? Or am I misinterpreting?
It's flat, like if you were to be holding a spatula. So so it's flat side down, not facing upwards.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're kind of like aiming it at me.
I think.
Yes, but it would be like
yeah,
at your
okay, I
chest
think-
level, not your face. It's not threatening.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
showing
yeah,
it to
yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Felicia's kind of doing that thing where she's kind of taking time to examine it, but not wanting to touch the glaive. And her frosted hand is completely out in show. Like she is using it to kind of like just examine it and very like carefully looking at the blood.
I don't believe we're gonna get through that door until it wants us to. And with that, she kind of like looks out as she's holding out the glaive to Ballista, she looks out the window. What is outside?
So, what you see outside, actually, let me see if I can just post it in current game thread, because there's no way I can do it without showing you the whole map, which is not what I want to do. So, when I find it, I will, I'll put it in there for you.
Okay,
But
cool.
basically, it's pitch black bar, I found it. I'll just show you what I see. I'll put it in the Tales of Mateia chat. It is, oh, where did it go? It's right here. This is what you see outside. If you look in the chat channel. There is for those who can't see, you see while there are patches of many, many stars in the sky and a white glowing moon, you do see trees and forested areas that are just continuously blasting by you. The stars are speeding past, the ones that you do see few and far between, and the moon itself is bright white, almost too white. But that is what you see outside.
Very pretty.
Miss Anthea, who's probably still gone.
She's back.
I'm back.
Oh, she's.
I was just muted and forgot to unmute. Yes, hello.
No worries. No worries. Welcome back.
She got distracted by the comfy chair.
Yes, totally understandable. Miss Anthea, what do you make of the world outside? Because inside, and she kind of like shakes her glaive, just a tad, just enough to like get her attention. Inside doesn't exactly seem normal.
Can I roll to look more closely at the outside to see like if there's any like plants I would recognize or any kind of landscape clues that I could find?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll.
Like nature?
Yeah, you could do nature or perception, whichever you want.
Do nature.
Are you still in your? It's not been 10 minutes yet, right? In your thing?
No, I'll
Okay.
play for
Yeah,
him.
so you can roll at an advantage since you're still in your fungal form.
Awesome.
Oh, these natural ones today, guys. This is
That's a no.
bad.
Did you use your inspiration yet? Your bardic inspiration, I think?
No, I haven't. What, is that
That's a
D6?
D10.
Oh,
D10.
D10. Beautiful.
And you can roll it twice and choose the higher.
Oh.
Come on,
Then-
hit that 10. Yes!
Oh,
There
so
it is.
That's a dirty
20. Can I do that?
With 20, you look outside and it looks like a typical cool autumn evening. Some of the trees have life on them with leaves and whatnot, but most of them seem to be close to barren. Not like what you would expect in the dead of winter, but the ones that do have leaves, they are changing colors. You see colors every now and again just because of the sheer amount of moonlight. And as you look and you're staring, you're trying to figure it out. You look at the moon for what feels like a little too long, and it almost seems for a quick second like the moon blinks. But it's a moon, so that doesn't make any sense.
There's something wrong with the moon.
There's something wrong.
Just
with
doesn't
a
look right.
lot. Well, I just sliced open the skin and muscle of a train car. I would say that nothing is currently on the passage of right around here.
Very true.
I do agree with Sir Pax, though. I do think if we are going to rest, we should probably go back to the sleeping quarters. If this is... I wouldn't even know what to call this, to be perfectly frank, but if there is the idea of trying to give us certain places to feel comfortable, while this does seem inviting, it would make more sense for it to be the bed chambers.
See if the door leading back is open.
Yep, you can go back and you can check, and that door does seem like it is able to be opened. Are you guys wanting to make your way back to the sleeping car?
I think so.
I will put my glaive on my back and slowly... I'm going to bring up the rear regardless of where Ballista is at this case, because something funny is going on. And both she and I are probably on the same page of like, holy shit.
Ever so slightly.
I moved you guys back through the other cars, and as you make your way back through the two train cars so far, everybody is asleep. They seem to be curled up or leaned over or head leaned back, but every person on the two previous cars seems to be asleep, blissfully unaware of what seemed to have transpired in the car where you came from.
Empty beds.
All of these beds are empty, yes.
We should. I got upset. Guys.
And if you guys wish to lay down to rest, you have the opportunity to do so.
That's it. Enough.
This may be me being a bit... I don't like to use the word, but paranoid. I do think that it would be smart if we took watches.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think if we do rest, it should be caution.
I don't mind going first.
I will take second. Wake me.
Hearing Naomi say paranoid, Ballista just kind of chuckles under her breath and just thinks to herself, "You paranoid?"
Was that said in the psychic Discord?
No.
Put yourself in whatever beds you guys would like to rest in.
Ballista is taking the furthest bed, and Hale is constantly watching over. Oh,
They
you don't
close
want
the
bloody
door.
socks?
No, I don't want the bloody socks, thank you.
Okay. Let me ask this too. How much longer do people have? Because we're not going to finish what I planned anyway. It wasn't. How long do people have before like they're at their limit when they have to be done for the night? Just so I know mentally.
I'm good till 9:30.
So about half an hour. Okay.
In 30,
Well,
yeah.
let's do this. Let's take like a quick, because I got to go to the bathroom real fast. So let's take a quick little bathroom, couple of minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll play for 25 minutes or so, and we'll call it there. So you guys
Thank
all
Lord.
begin your long rest, and let's take a quick break because I gotta pee.
Bathroom
May I actually
break.
hit the long rest button, or is stuff gonna happen?
I'll
Let's
tell you
wait.
when we get back.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Be back in a few.
As you begin to take your long rests, Pax, you said you were going to go first. I need you to make me a perception check, please.
Yes. Yes. Two. Take inspiration on that and reroll. Really crap.
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
Used your inspiration. You notice your fellow compatriots drift off to sleep. And as you're watching them, as you're thinking what has happened so far since you have been on this strange journey with them,
Drain.
you start to feel
Oh,
your
music.
eyes get heavy. You start to feel this general sense of not foreboding, but change happen to your body. I need you to make me Constitution saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Oof. Disadvantage. Okay. Two.
So, with a 6, you begin yourself to fall asleep.
Drain.
And as you drift off, Vallista, you find yourself in a large hall, almost like a church or a cathedral type of size. You start to hear music playing. The music itself seems sourceless. And as you spend time looking around, you don't see a lot of people. You hear like the chittering and chattering of voices, but they all are kind of just blending together in this hodgepodge menagerie of just blended white noise. And as you're listening and trying to make out this white noise that is occurring around you, you're trying to put faces to these shadows that you're seeing. And as you're going, you can't put a face to this dream, this memory. You can't quite place anyone except yourself. And you don't feel as cold as you normally feel. You sense of normalcy and this warmth that kind of taking you over, and you look around, and finally you're able to put a face to someone. You recognize this person. This younger human girl. You see standing across from you with their hand outstretched, this 4'11", 5'1", young 10, 11 to 12-year-old human girl with short curly brown hair and light green eyes, with this very joyous, toothy, almost silly grin on her face. And she looks at you holding out her hand, and then she holds out her second hand, almost reaching at you for her to take hers. You remember this girl as Helene. And you hear the music around you start to pick up. And you feel your feet start to kind of move in rhythm with this. And as you're kind of trying to recall how you got here, because last you knew you were on this train with these not so strange folk anymore, you feel that you're grabbed by the hand, and Helene takes you out to the floor and begins dancing with you. around this room, spinning you, twirling you, dipping you, going from waltzes to two-steps to all manner of contemporary and classical dances of the time for your class that you were learning. And as she smiles and dances and spins you, how do you feel?
Happy.
For the first time in a long time, for as long as you've been running, you feel yourself taken back to a point in time where you're happy. And as you're being pranced around this large room, you catch a glimpse of yourself in a reflective surface, whether it's a window or a piece of stained glass. You can't quite tell because you're just so focused on who is immediately in front of you. And you see that your skin is not as pale as it has been. Your arm doesn't look how it does. You don't. I muted. You're not as pale as you normally are. Your arm is not the same as it normally is. Hail's not on your shoulder cold. You don't feel despair. You don't feel like someone is hunting you and chasing you. You just feel happiness and contentment.
Yeah.
And Thea, as you're drifting to sleep, you wake up to the sound of sword fighting, but not metal sword fighting. More of like wooden swords fighting. You often use a staff, but as you look down and look around, you find that you are having a little sparring match with Arius. And you can see that he's putting everything he has into this, and he's trying very hard to win, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to grow up. He wants to be a swordsman of the greatest possible caliber. He's heard stories and wondrous tales of strong swordsmen who go out and they save the day. They go on grand adventures. They bring pride and glory to their family, to their kingdom. They find riches, they find wealth, they find happiness, and they find love that they may not have had before to an even greater extent. And they start families of their own and are able to pass on these skills to their own children and watch them grow and achieve their dreams. How do you feel as you find yourself sparring with your brother?
I feel a wash of pride as I see him getting better, even though he's clearly still got a long ways to go.
He thinks he has you, and he like spins around and goes in for, quote, the killing blow. But you, with ease and without much effort at all, just block his wooden sword with your staff. And then he this look of frustration covers his face, and then he immediately just starts laughing. A laugh that you haven't heard in a while. One that you could listen to every day and it never get old. He just starts laughing and laughing and laughing. Naomi, you've always known that you were different. That's not something that's hidden knowledge. It's not something that people ever made a big deal about. Everybody knows, your family included, and those that you work with and those you command, know that you are not of blood origin to your family. And that's been accepted a long, long time ago. But where you find yourself right now is not fighting side by side with your siblings. It's not being scolded by your father with his military attitude and wanting to keep time and keep people where they needed to be and following in his footsteps in a way. It's not being competitive with those around you and rising through the ranks. You find yourself looking down from above at the steps of a castle. And as you look and you listen, you kind of peel your eyes a little bit and you see there is a storm going, and it is raining quite heavily. Wind is cold and whipping against your face, and as you look closer and you kind of lean in, or at least what feels like leaning in and floating down to these steps, you see that there is a small humanoid child bundled in blankets, crying into the wind, and it's almost like the wind is so loud that cries are not being heard as they're being carried away into the storm. And you see, as you look up above the steps, there is this thick oak door with a window on either side, and there is from the darkness of these windows, there is a low candlelight that seems to get brighter and brighter as it approaches the window from the inside. As you turn, you see two cloaked figures swiftly moving the opposite direction, and you hear crying coming from the creatures. What do you do?
I try to chase it. If I look down at the thing on the steps, do I recognize it?
Yes.
I
You
turn. Go ahead.
You know it. You know what it is, yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what it is. I turn and I chase after the crying creatures that are leaving. Just as fast as my legs can carry me.
You chase them, and it's almost like you're not running, but you're levitating and you're floating towards them. And you hear them speaking a language that you recognize. It's not one, but you don't know why you recognize it, because it's not one that you think to speak. It's not one that you speak with your siblings, your family, in the military. It's not one that you speak really anywhere in the kingdom, but you recognize it. It's got this atmosphere about it that just feels whole, and it feels good, and it feels happy. Even through the tears that they're shedding and the sobs, you understand this to be the language of Celestial, but you don't know why you know it. It's not something, like I said, it's not something you speak regularly or really ever. And you just hear through the sobs and the crying profuse apologies, and that they're doing what they think is best to protect you, and that maybe one day they'll be able to explain. And then they just kind of, their visages kind of turn to smoke, and they kind of fade off into the atmosphere of the dream as your being is pulled back to the steps where the small creature wrapped in blankets lays in front of the door. As you see the door handle begins to turn, and the candlelight from inside kind of breaks the entrance of the door. Pax,
Yes.
you find yourself waking up in a meadow. You're looking up, sun is warm and glowing bright and putting its rays of comfort and joy down from the sky onto you. And as you look around, you see that there are leaves slowly blowing in this light summer breeze that's blasting all around you. And as you kind of turn your gaze to kind of take in the atmosphere of everything that's around you, there is this tree, seemingly world-endingly large. You look and it looks like the roots, and from the roots up the trunk to the branches and the leaves of this tree almost seem to be what looks like it could be the origin of life. You've never been here before, but it feels like the origin of creation is here. This tree seems to give life and power and the ability to build from its sole self. You look around even more and you see that as this tree extends into the sky and out into the atmosphere, it gives off different lights. Almost aurora boreas coming off of it in different directions, leading to different ways, different planes, almost different lands. You see in one direction blue-green oceans in the distance. You see in another, you see darkened woods and blackened skies. You see in another the rising of stone creations, whether they're buildings or statues or monuments to some other beings and deities you don't know. But you stand there in this warm breeze and sun rays just falling upon your skin. What do? How are you feeling?
Reverential. And I would probably do a ritual sometime. Would I have my music? Would I sort of know how I can create?
As you try to create, you've created before. You do it regularly, whether you're casting spells for protection or for attacking or for just building in general or providing shows and pleasures to others. But it's almost like you just think it and it's created. It's almost like you have the ability and the power to create anything you want, whenever you want. If you think of a moon appears in the sky. If you smaller trees, they appear at your feet. If you think of, as far as your imagination can expand, you feel like you can create. As
a place for each of my people. The neighboring branches, the other glowing, glittery faith folk that ever meet. And then going close to the trunk, more and more types of creatures, large and small, flighted and swimming, extending all the way down into the soil, with protective glow of creatures beneath the soil, keeping all that is good within the tree, shield against the darkness.
As you are having this moment of awe and inspiration, respect for what is in front of you, I need all of you to go ahead and make for me perception checks, please.
Oh man.
Finally, Naomi, thank you. Something higher than a
It's
4.
It's because you've got to say perception.
You're right. I haven't
That's
said that
fine.
in this entire game. You were 100% right.
Naomi, as you're staring at the light, the small golden hue of this candlelight breaking through the entryway of this door leading out onto the stairs where this small creature is wrapped in blankets crying into the wind, you feel a presence. But this isn't a presence that belongs here. This presence is different. This presence is unwelcome. This presence is foreboding. This presence is something that you've not felt and you know it's wrong. And Thea, as you are having these practice combats with your sibling, you catch just at the corner of your eye something small, some smaller humanoid creature, almost the size of Arius, but not him. You see Arius is still laughing and trying to spar with you as you're blocking him with ease. You turn to look at what you believe you saw in the corner of your eye. You feel this presence of something's here that shouldn't be, something's wrong. This isn't real. Where you are right now has happened, but it's happened before. It's not right now. You remember, or you're starting to remember, that this is not where you were. This isn't right. Something about this is wrong. And as you kind of turn, you can see a little bit more as you kind of bring your eyes to it, that this creature has a blade about the size of a dagger, and it kind of walks to, it just kind of walks and stops, and it reaches out and sticks its hand just to touch seemingly nothing in front of it. But as it touches and reaches out and just touches, you see there's just this, as this barrier, kind of like when you throw a pebble into a pond and you get the ripples, you see that they reach out and like these ripples kind of appear in front of them. And you see that with the dagger, with the blade facing out from the base of their palm, they reach out across their left chest, they stab into this ripple, and they slice it downwards in the bottom right, in a downward right 45-degree angle, and they take their hands and stick them both in the separation of the split that they have made, and they separate it. And you see as they separate it, they step through, and this light permeates. And as this happens with Anthea and Naomi simultaneously, Thea, you see another creature on top of this castle this time, with that same blade, reach out, but from the right down to the left, cut almost a seam into space, you don't know, and they split it across, and they rip it open with both of their hands, and they step in, and you see and you feel just this different atmosphere from inside. Like that, what is in there belongs to you. That is yours. Ballista, you are still dancing with Helene, enjoying this moment. Everything feels as it should. Everything feels right. Everything feels happy. Everything. This is life. This is the truth. This is what you live for. Pax, you're there with this great giving tree of life, giving you everything you ask as far as creation, but also showing you what you can bring to life, what it will give you and what you can give back, how you can bolster those and those things around you to make their lives and their atmospheres and their existences have more importance and more pertinence. And this just feels right. This feels like this is where you belong. This is what you were meant to do. This is where you were meant to be. And this is what we're going to pick up next time.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh my god!
Exquisite, Alex. Very well done.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. Wait, 2 weeks? Are you kidding me? Ah! Oh, that was so cool.
I know I have my air conditioner on, but let me tell you, the chills I just got were not because it was cold.
Oh, it was amazing. Well done, Alex. As always, pleasure to play in one of your games. This is amazing. I can't wait to see what in the next 2 weeks have installed for us. This is gonna be amazing. And for now, everybody say goodbye to YouTube.
Bye,
Bye,
YouTube.
YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone.